Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back, or welcome to another Bangs audio review. Pardon me, the post-surgery meds that I'm on kind of give me a little dry mouth, scratchy throat thing going on. I won't get into what else it does, but let's just say it's helping with the pain a bit. Anyway, it's been a minute. I wanted to get back to doing what I love to do, and that is reviewing IEMs, headphones, DAC amps, all that good stuff for you guys, and give you an update on me, a little quick update on how I'm doing, and let's get rolling with it. So here we are. I've spent now over 2 weeks with the CVJ Bidong. It has been an interesting sort of road because, well, there was surgery, so that might have skewed my initial reaction to it a bit. I'm not really sure. But right, from the get-go, I kind of felt like that the set was just missing the mark a little bit. But again, I will say that might have been to do with, anticipation of surgery, having surgery, coming out of surgery, being really out of it for a few days, being like a crap ton of pain for a few days, and now finally, and there's your update, finally after 11 days post-surgery, I'm actually feeling sort of like myself again, at least getting there. So we're going in the right direction. Surgery was a success, by the way, and I've got really good bone density apparently for my age, so that's going to help with the healing process. And I should be, back up to no good sooner than later, I would imagine. Anywho, things are going well on that end. Things are going better with the CVJ Bidong, now that I realize sort of what its strengths are and what ear tips to use on them, which ended up being the final Type E. If you guys have this set, or if you're thinking about getting this set after the review, make sure that you get the final Type E ear tips for it, because they make all of the difference. Even with this super narrow bore, it's got a pretty wide or pretty massive stem, but luckily you can manipulate the final Type E stem over the nozzle there, and it works out just fine. So stock tips I couldn't even get on, crazily enough, so I didn't even have a chance to try those guys out. Anyway, on to unboxing specs. We're going to spend a little bit of time on the unbox because this is the Valentine's presentation, and it seems to be available just about everywhere. I know that there's a pre-order period on Linsol, but if you just go to AliExpress, you go to the CVJ official site, they have it there. They have it on sale, $131.77. I've seen it get as low as $111 on sale, and its regular retail price is $189. So there you go. I think it's a bit of a sleeper set. I think that it wasn't necessarily really gotten to a lot of reviewers, or maybe wasn't hyped up very much. That could be why you're seeing the sale prices hit pretty consistently, but I can safely say that if you get this for less than 150, you're doing good. Not great, but good. So the Valentine's Day presentation is pretty sweet. This would be if you have a partner who is into IEMs and you want to surprise them with a really, really nice unboxing. Check this out. This is good stuff. Love forever. Little stamp there. This heart raises up. And then underneath that, roses. Holy crap. You had me at hello. Anyway, this is one of the nicer unboxings that I've experienced in the under 200 range. Very well presented, thought out, etc., etc. You get this. This is metal, by the way. This is a no joke case right here, guys. This probably could fall out of an airplane. Well, preferably you won't be falling out of the airplane, but this could probably fall from a pretty great height and protect the IEMs from, just about anything. I can't speak to if it's waterproof or not, but let's just not play with water and IEM, shall we? I think that's a bad idea. Yeah, it is a little bit hard to get threaded properly, but that's also probably because I'm not 100% yet either with my motor functions. You also get, which is very nice, you get terminations of 2.5. You get a nicely packaged, that's cable control there. there's the 2.5, 3.5, and you get stock ear tips. Oh, and this little guy right here for DSP. So you got a USB-C there as well. Everything that you need. I've got the 4.4 on there, of course, because that's my termination of choice. The cable is very good. Supple, just a little bit tangly at the very end where the ear hooks are. You know, I found myself struggling with it a tiny bit here and there, but again, that could be my motor functions more than anything else. So, yeah, it's a really nice cable. Great that it's modular. Great they included the USB-C. Yeah, it's a nice amount of stuff, accessories of good quality that are included in this package. So I don't have any issue with the price at this point. You know, it's just a matter of performance, obviously, but you get a really, really nice presentation for that price. On to the specs. Specs, you've got resistance of 28 ohms, frequency response of 10 hertz to 40 kilohertz. Sensitivity is 112 decibels. Let me talk about the sensitivity for a second, because they are quite sensitive. I had a moment, you know, like eardrum blowout moment because I was being stupid. I can't remember which one I plugged in. Might have been, yeah, I think it was the Muse Hi-Fi, and it almost took my eardrums out, but I caught it really quick. That doesn't have independent volume control, so that's what happened. My volume on the laptop was up to like 100%, and I was like, it happens, you know, but that's all right. My ears survived, the IEM survived, everything was fine. So just be aware that they get very loud, and they get loud fairly quickly, you know, so it's not going to be a situation where they're hard to drive at all. I would say you could probably get away with doing like the EPZs, these little dongles here. No worries at all. They worked fine. Apple dongle with 3.5. You don't need amplification. I always recommend amplification, not amplication this time, amplification. Got it. Because I feel like it does bring out more of the performance of the IEMs when you've got a little juice behind them. But I didn't need anything more than the Dunu DTC 800, which just came, or the Onyx Alpha 11T1, also BTR 7, primarily tested on the FIO K11, which is upstairs in the Recovery Tech Lounge. I'm going to miss that little nest I made out there. It was pretty awesome. And a little bit on the Zendak V2. And the only one I didn't like was the TA22, and the reason is that the set can lean, it's got decent treble, but it can lean a little dark and warm due to the sub bass and bass, and so this was just kind of like too much of a good thing. So don't worry, you don't need to go out and buy a $500 DAC amp for these to sound at their best. You can, you know, any one of these really. This, the EPZ TP30, I feel like was just a little bit too analog-y for them, but other than that, so maybe Cirrus over Sabre, maybe. You know, splitting hairs here. They did well, just about any source. So what are they good at? How do they sound? What are these sonic impressions? Okay, I'm going to give these pretty much an A+ rating for anything as far as R&B and hip hop goes. They have sub bass over mid bass, but the bass is just, that's the star of the show with the Bidong. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you guys what Bidong means. So in traditional Chinese, at least Mandarin, it means passive, but there's this really cool article that I found that apparently it's like a move, which kind of makes more sense now with the roses and stuff, and the fact that the name is Bidong, and I just want to go through all of these adolescent penis jokes, which I'm going to try to resist, but I may not be successful. It apparently is when a young man courting a young woman puts his arm, the B or be is the wall, and the dong is he's leaning heavily on the wall with his hand. But you can see in such a way where he has got her in his, you know, gaze. It's intimate, and it's used, you know, romantically, apologetically, like trying to determine the status of the relationship. if you're a girl and a guy does the Bidong to you, that means he's interested, you know? So it's a good thing. It's pretty cute, honestly, you know? Probably like a high school kind of thing. But it's cute. And now I understand. I get the roses, you know, the heart, all that kind of stuff. So really lovely, you know, and equal opportunity here, you know, doesn't have to be a girl, can be a guy and a guy, can be a girl and a girl, it can be whoever and whoever, you know. This is just like a romantic gesture. It is pretty cute. So well, all the way up to the Sonics that holds up with the packaging and accessories and everything like that. But the the actual presentation of these is not shy, nor is it passive, nor is it, I would say, necessarily romantic, because it is, I guess you would say, is sort of, here they come, sorry guys, oh god, easy to understand, just like male genitalia is easy to understand. It's easy to figure out what makes it happy and just give it more of that, and you're gonna be bedonged for sure. So here's the deal. Let's see if I get to the graph here. There we go. All right, so here's the deal. There you go. I mean, what do you want? Look at this. This is left and right channel. They're not perfectly matched. I get it. It's fine. It's not detracting from anything. I mean, it's pretty well matched when you get into the mids and to the upper mids and the treble area. It is, like I said, bass, sub bass. That's the star of the show. It reminded me a lot of the Relentless in some ways, but we'll get into the comp there in a little bit with the Relentless, because there's some major differences between the two, mainly in the BAs, I think. So, but you can see this is just, it's a bass cannon. The bass is really hard hitting, it's heavy, it's quality. It really just, like, from kick drums to synth drops to, you know, 808s, whatever. If you like that, if you want to feel that, if you want to have that resonance in your head, you've got it. It's all there for you. I mean, I have sets that do it as well, but maybe not with as much emphasis as the Bidong has on it. So without saying this is just a bass head IM, because it's not, you know, you can be somebody who likes a balanced sound signature and still enjoy it. But unlike things like the EW300, where you can change nozzles out to sort of tone that down a little bit, this is what you're getting. The only way to alter it really is with ear tips. And what I found was when I got wider bore, that the treble that is there got a little bit fatiguing for me. Like, not terribly so, like it's not like sibilant or spiky or hot, but just kind of like, I don't know. There was something I wasn't digging with it. And yeah, so that's why I ended up going with the Final Type E over like Divinus Velvet, or especially the wide bore Divinus Velvet. That wasn't doing it any favors, really. I mean, it wasn't terrible. Nothing sounded bad. I just found that the narrow bore sort of took that little bit of that fatiguing edge off of the treble without sacrificing too much treble or too much stage. As far as stage goes, these things are right down the middle. They don't give you a tremendous amount. They don't give you too little. It's not too intimate. They perform well in that respect. The extension of the treble is nice. It's nice that they have a little bit of a rebound around 10 or 12K. That's, you know, closing in on where I'm not hearing things like when it drops off at 13, 14K, I'm not missing anything there anyway. You may or may not, but to me, I thought the treble was good, not great. And I think that I just feel like there's the BAs in there. I think the crossovers were done well. I just don't know that I'm a big fan of whatever units they used for the BAs. I mean, they're okay. They're just not great. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why if I spent 190 on this, I would be like, huh? You know, that's more expensive than the Canara Celeste Relentless. And it's not a better set than the Canara Celeste Relentless, just plain and simple. But yeah, strengths here are bass and mids. The mids are warm and engaging, they're clear, and then the ear gain is not offensive. It's fairly smooth. And then you just get to the treble, and the treble's just kind of, yeah, it's okay. You know, it's kind of okay. This is not going to be for airheads, for treble heads. There's not a ton of sparkle or shimmer or shine. It is present. I just personally liked toning it down a touch more with the final E-tips. So there you go. Overall, performance-wise, I would give this a solid B. I think that, you know, it has its strengths definitely are going to be with like pop, rock, R&B, hip hop, sort of straight ahead genres where the emphasis kind of falls in the middle, you know, or bass heavy, right? Because the bass is just undeniably freaking phenomenal on these. That's what saved the set for me. Honestly, it was the bass, because I'm still a bass head, you know, maybe not as much as I was, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago, 10, 20 years ago, you know, like I was all about the bass for a really long time. Now I'm leaning more towards more balanced sets. That's, you know, it's my journey, so that's kind of what's happening. You know, I'm never going to not love bass, but I also have learned to appreciate more balance. My only wish on this set was the treble was a little bit better, a little bit more present, a little bit less fatiguing. And really, that's the only complaint on them. Everything else was great. So we might as well pop out the comp. This is the comp that I did because they're the same driver configuration. So you've got the Canera Celeste Relentless, their flagship under the Celeste label. Same configuration, 1DD, 6 BAs per side. And I'll bring up the graph here so we can take a look at that along with this. Where did I graph that? There we go. Oh wait, let's get it graphed when it's a little, there we go. Okay. I did have to increase the volume on the Relentless by 20 to 25% to get a similar reading on the graph on the measurement rig. And I think that that basically just kind of speaks to the fact that the Bidong is easier to drive, right? So you can see this graph goes a little bit more V-shaped. But for some reason, I feel like that it's just it's slightly more neutral. I feel like that there's a little bit more polish to it, a little bit more style, a little bit more detail, a little bit more stage. It's just an easier set to listen to than the Bidong for longer periods of time. Like I'd put the Bidong in and listen to several songs. This is when I was comping. And then I'd put the Canera Celeste Relentless in and I would forget that I had them in. You know what I mean? It was like I was just like, oh, I got to go back to the Bidong because I'm just like enjoying the hell out of listening to the Celeste Relentless. So I guess that's about as plain as I can put it. Yeah, I mean, for me and my personal tastes, I like the Relentless more. It has a better treble, even though it doesn't look like it is as present or extended. The presentation is there, the details are there, the soundstage is nice. Like the whole set feels just a little bit more coherent. For the same money, you know, I'm getting the Celeste Relentless every time. If the Bidong drops down to 131 like it is right now, or 111 like it was during the fall savings sale on AliExpress, well, you're gonna have a hard time stopping me from buying it for that price, because I think it competes really, really well. Like if I would like, let's pick on SimGot, but let's take the EM6L for example, which is fairly close configuration. The Bidong is just a much more exciting, engaging set to listen to than that. And for a similar price point, it's hands down with the accessories, the unboxing, like it takes a lot of stuff on in that sub 120 price range. You push it above 150, there's a lot of other stuff out there. I guess that's about as plain as I can put it. This is an on sale IM to buy. If you see that for like, even for 131, I'd take it. But if you see it at 111, it gets a value recommendation, like a high value recommendation at 111. I mean, shit. Sorry, YouTube. Shoot. I don't know if you can ask for much more when it comes down to everything that you get. And the fact that you can definitely affect the sound signature, the presentation of it with changing of ear tips. You may find that you like a little bit wider, or at least normal or better on them. That's fine. It's there, right? So I'm going to give it a recommend. I'm not going to give it a full recommend or a top recommend or my highest recommendation. I'm going to give it a recommend with the caveat, buy it on sale. I will link a couple of the AliExpress sites that I saw it on for that 111 sale price in the description. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for today. Yeah, the Celeste Relentless is still the winner out of these two. But they did well. I ended up liking them better than I thought. Funny, you know, because my initial impression kind of ended up being my final impression. But getting to know them and spending so much time with them and going through all of the crap I was going through post-surgery and all that kind of stuff, I hung with them. They hung with me. You know, it was a pleasure getting to know them. So, all right, first one back in the saddle, guys. That's going to do it for today. Just wanted to let you all know that I really appreciate all of the support you've given me, the kindness, kind words, the thoughts, the prayers, just really like lifted me up, knowing you guys are in my corner as I went through that. We are in the upswing now. Things are just going to get better from here. And I'm looking forward to, well, the next review, which will be up probably in just a couple of days. For now, be careful, be safe, be nice. Love y'all. Nothing but peace to you. We'll see you real soon.